Welcome to issue number 2 of my new e-journal, The Art of Strategy Making. In developing a content publication, we as creators concern ourselves with detail that, quite frankly, most of the rest of the world probably don't even notice. Layouts, fonts, colors, photos are all painstakingly designed and carefully scrutinized. One decision that I needed to make was a name. What am I going to call it? What is a title that will embody its content and the key themes of its monthly messages? Well, the list was pretty extensive, and I spent a fair bit of time wringing my hands around the choice. But there was one name that didn't make the cut that I really liked conceptually. But I was concerned that it was too nuanced and that people might interpret its meaning in exactly the opposite way that I had intended. But I did think that this was a perspective on strategy that was worth sharing. So what's the name that I discarded? The Science of Strategy Making. The idea that I wanted to convey with this title was that to evolve your business toward the future that you aspire to requires a scientific mindset. And that means bringing a scientific method to your strategic activities. Now, this isn't the everything that we currently know is all there is to be known perspective on science that some have. It is the idea that science is a process of constant exploration, that what we currently know is merely a step in the journey toward what we can know. That truth is not a singular story about the world that we live in. It's a story to be discovered over and over again as the environment changes and we deepen our understanding of that environment. I like Amy Edmondson's perspective on strategy. Dr. Edmondson is the Novartis Professor of Leadership and Management at Harvard Business School and the author of The Fearless Organization, a book that I share a little bit further down in this newsletter. And she proposes that to be nimble and adaptive, you need to view strategy as an ever-evolving hypothesis about the future of your organization. Now, this is brilliant because it allows you to approach your workplace as if it were the physical world, with all of its nuance, interdependence, and complexities. Perhaps it'll allow you to see the vague and unknowable forces of the market as the metaphysical world, a world that's not there to be controlled, but to be viewed with wonder and adapted to as its mysteries unfold and reveal themselves to you. A scientific approach would suggest that you create strategic projects not merely as a way of implementing a plan around what history tells you is true, but as a series of experiments and studies to prove or disprove your hypothesis about what's possible for your organization. A place where action creates clarity around what works or doesn't work for your organization, what your customers value or don't value. Your people are then ideally placed to be the researchers in this scientific approach because they're the subject matter experts. They know the most about what would allow them to be more efficient and effective in doing their work, what would allow them to better serve your customers. And they know quite a lot about what customers would value that they're currently not getting from you or from the marketplace at large. They also interact on a daily basis with the laboratory that this experimentation will take place in. As Dr. Edmondson says, asking good questions and developing thoughtful hypotheses that are tested through execution allows you to develop a strategy as learning, or as I like to say, a strategy making approach to shaping the future of your organization. This is in sharp contrast to the outdated and ineffective strategy as planning model that is practiced by so many organizations today. In the end, I went with The Art of Strategy Making as my title because I felt like it better embodied the creativity and evolving perspectives required for making good strategy. But there's a science to strategy making as well. The scientific imperative for exploration and experimentation that allows organizations to learn, adapt, and ultimately evolve at the pace of the change that's happening in the world around them.